started about 20 years ago when I was in high school. Did some plays and stuff, and then after I graduated high school, I got to be a background extra in Disney's Newsies. Got away from it for a while, and then about 4 years ago is when I really got back into it, and I've been doing it steadily ever since. So summer of 2010.
How long have you been a part of this web series?
Not really all that long. Uh, I wasn't originally cast in the role of Jeff. Somebody else was cast. Something happened, and then the team creating the project actually held another casting call, and I came in and was kind of a last minute casting. So they had already actually started filming, I think, when I was brought in. So I don't know. I've only been a part of it about a month.
What do you enjoy about this web series?
I like that it has this whole family dynamic. It's a really large family, and I like the idea of being able to see what that looks like in a modern way. It's not like a Brady Bunch. It's there's more real time modern day problems with it, and I like how it's being approached between the parents and the kids, and how everybody handles all of that.
How do you feel about playing your character?
I like playing the character. I like Jeff. He seems like a pretty straightforward guy. He's a dad. He's trying to do the best he can with this large family, and the fact that it's so much of a mixed family, and kids from different parents, and everybody trying to come together, and he's just doing the best that he can, and I really like that about him.
What do you not like about your character?
Um, the way I've played him so far in season one, he seems like he's a little uptight, I guess. He seems like he's a little angry, which I guess is, it's kind of understandable with all the stresses of the large family and everything, but I would like to see him be a little bit more involved, and not so uptight and stressed out.
What's the hardest part when it comes to being your role?
I'd have to say the hardest part about playing Jeff would probably be keeping up with everything that's going on. He has his wife, he has his ex-wife, there's all these kids, and everybody's got their issues. He is out, working, he's trying to provide, and so for me, that's, as an actor, trying to wrap my head around all of that, and keep all of the names straight. I'm still trying to get used to that, and right now it's kind of tough to keep track of who everybody is.
Describe who your character is to you.
Like I said before, Jeff is just a normal guy. He's a dad. He's trying to provide for his family. He's got all these kids. He's got all of this different family dynamic going on with the ex, and his new wife's ex-husband, and all of that. So he's just a guy trying to be the best dad that he can, provide for his family, and kind of keep everything in order, and keep everything together without letting it all fall apart.
Who's your favorite character and why?
Donna's pretty good. I don't know if I'd call her my favorite character, but she's one of my favorites. Because she's a mom. She's a real strong personality. She tries to be as involved as she can in her kids' lives, more so than Jeff, at least at this point. And I think she kind of goes about it a little too strictly. She's a psychologist, and she tries to approach it from that point of view. But I think even with that, she's trying to be the best mom that she can be, and trying to keep it all together.
What storyline can you relate to the most?
Storyline I can relate to the most would probably be any interaction that Jeff has with his daughters. I have two teenage daughters myself, personally, in real life, and just some of the issues that he sees with his daughters in this show are some of the issues that I, as a dad, have dealt with in real life with my own daughters. So I can very much relate to that and bring my own personal real world experience to some of these things that these girls are going through.
What do you really feel about the family?
I don't like them. um, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, as far as my real feelings about the family, there's a lot there. I'm still getting used to, the whole dynamic of it all, and I'm still trying to get used to, like I said before, who everybody is. Um, so that's I don't know.
Is there a character you just can't stand?
Carl,
Why?
the guy's a douche. Carl is Donna's ex-husband, and he shows up at this Thanksgiving meal with his new girlfriend, fiance, or whatever she is, and she's just this real bimbo, and he comes in trying to play this holier than thou, talking down to Donna and Jeff, like they did something wrong, like they were messing around, and that's what caused the breakup of their marriage. But when you look under the surface of the guy, it seems like he is a philanderer, and he's out looking for the next youngest best thing in his own mind until he gets bored and moves on to the next thing. And I think that's what he did with Donna, and that kind of pushed Donna towards Jeff. So I don't really like Carl. I think the guy's a douche, and from a character perspective, looking at him as Jeff, I just think that he really doesn't have any redeeming qualities.
What's your favorite episode or scene?
The Thanksgiving meal scene. When we shot that, it had already been a long day, and we were all starving. And so when we sat down and all the food was around the table, we all couldn't wait to get the food on our plate. It was cold. It had been sitting out for hours, but we were all so hungry. And so when we were filming it, and we were all just chowing down on it as much as we could. But aside from that, in that scene, there's a point there where you see Jeff actually, I guess, a little bit, he's kind of angry, but in a way, he's upset that his daughter is, I think he feels that his daughter with his ex isn't really being taken care of the way he thinks that she should be taken care of. And so I think in that scene, you really see Jeff show some real genuine emotion, being angry, being concerned over his daughter and the things that his ex-wife is letting her do. And so I think in that moment he's trying to really step up as a dad and say, well, you know what, I need to put my foot down and take care of my daughter in a better way than what her mother is doing.
Who do you like working with so far?
I like working with the production crew. They're a young crew. They're learning. I really like learning with new. I like working with new filmmakers because they're learning, because they have a willingness to let people run with who they think their character should be, rather than already having that idea in their mind, like a Hollywood director of, no, this is the way I want to see it. They're a lot more experimental, and they're willing to let the actors and everybody else go with what they feel is right in the moment, and they're a lot more open to that. So I like working with the production crew, Kelsey and Megan. They've got the basic idea out there for it, but like I said, they're willing to let us as actors experiment. So I like that.
Tell us about your past projects. What's one of your favorite or funniest memories from acting?
I've done a lot of projects, particularly in the last 4 years. I can tell you all kinds of great stories about 20 years ago when I was on the set of Newsies, things that we did there. But more recently, I'd have to say probably Zombie Apocalypse for Sci-Fi Channel. There was a scene where I was a zombie, and I was attacking Eddie Steeples from My Name Is Earl, and I'm sitting on top of him, and I'm trying to eat him, and he's got his hand up here, and he's trying to keep me from biting him and stuff, and I've got this blood in my mouth, and initially what they wanted me to do was like let it drip out and like get on him and stuff. And he asked me before we shot the scene, he's like, please don't do that, please don't do that. He was so worried about it. And I was like, you know what, it's cool, I won't do it. I'll just, maybe let a little bit dribble out. And he's like, okay, that's cool. So that's kind of a funny story from that project. Some of the other projects I've done, a lot of them are indie projects. I've done some commercials, I've done some web stuff, I've done some corporate training videos. No joke, probably in the last 4 years, I've done close to 40 projects. So there's a lot there. I don't have enough time to tell you all the good stories.
So what do you think could happen to your character?
I think that he could grow as a dad. I'm hoping to see in future seasons a little bit more of this character and a little bit more of him interacting with his kids, not being angry or upset. I would really like to see him become closer with his kids, to really make that effort to be closer.
Anything else you want to say about working on this project?
Just that I hope it gets a lot of viewership, and I hope that people enjoy it. I hope that people enjoy my performance, of course, but overall I hope that all the different stories in this series, that somebody can relate to that, and that it will do some good for them.